You know, something also understand that in the photo systems. I'll let you do like coffee my touch. Thank you. Hati hai.
Please be on mute, everybody. अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को नवाए स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम से काज सब आज कर चोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। ओ मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताई जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान करी मंगल करी हो महा ग्रंथ करण को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज। So Acharya Kalp Pandit Prabhat Todarmal ji's Moksha Marg Prakasha. We are doing the third chapter, and the third chapter also has one Manglacharan. So निज भाव सदा सुखद अपनो करो प्रकाश जो बहुविधि भव दुख निको करिए सत्तानाश. So exposition of miseries of mundane existence and bliss of liberation. So these miseries are being explained from three different angles. First one is from the karma's bondage point of view. The second one is from embodied modifications point of view, like 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sensed. And the third is the general characteristics of miseries. So out of these three, we are on to the first one, where we are going to consider the miseries from karma's bondage point of view. And there are 8 major karmas, and we will be discussing each karma at a time. So we had just finished Jnanavaran and Dashnavaran karma, knowledge obscuring karma and perception obscuring karma. Today we are going to cover, Soumya, I am making you co-host.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today we are going to start with miseries caused by the rise of monia karma, and then of course the solution to it. So monia karma, as we all know, is the king of all karmas, and out of that monia karma has 2 divisions. One is faith deluding karma, the other is conduct deluding karma. Out of these two, again, faith deluding karma is more important, because if the belief changes, the knowledge also changes and the conduct also changes. But without changing the faith, knowledge and conduct cannot be right. Okay. So first we need to have right belief, right faith. So in that sense, if we consider, the faith deluding karma is the most important, although it is a part of monia karma, and this faith deluding karma has 3 divisions, subdivisions, And the conduct deluding karma has got 25 divisions, which are 25 different types of passions. All these we are going to discuss, that when there is a rise of this karma, what are the situations that are happening in the modification of a mundane existence. Okay, we are not considering the enlightened persons, we are not considering the right believer, but we are considering a simple soul, mundane existence, who is having a wrong belief and he wants to get it into right belief. So first we are analyzing the effects of each karma separately, so that we realize where we need to put in the efforts. Okay, unless and until we don't know the problem in a very detailed manner, whatever solution we'll do, it will not be uh, precise, perfect, right? Either it will be this way or that way, and the ultimate result would be we won't be getting the fruits that we are looking at. So it is better, first let's analyze the problem. What are the situation happening because of those causes, and then get into the right process, right? So every time we discuss about the right process, right solution, there are no different answers. There is just one simple answer: right belief, right knowledge, right conduct. Recently we completed Bara Bhavna, and in that 12 contemplations we discussed one bhavna, Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, rarity of attainment of three jewels, three gems. Okay, right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. So we have been wandering since time immemorial, and we have been to different places many a times. Okay, infinite different places, infinite different time, infinite different kind of disposition we have manifested, and infinite number of substances that we have acquired. But we never manifested right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. So that would be the right answer. Every time a question comes up, then what is the right solution? Sacha upay kya hai? And every time in each karma, you will find the right answer as this three only. First, we need to get the belief system right. Then, of course, the knowledge will become right and the conduct will become right. Although, knowledge in itself is never right or wrong. Knowledge is knowledge. But when it is preceded by wrong belief, it is called wrong knowledge. And when it is preceded by right belief, it is called right knowledge. So whatever adjustment, whatever improvisation, whatever improvement that we need to do is in our knowledge system. And that same knowledge system will turn right after going through a training, right? And this training is nothing understanding these principles and adapting in the right manner, not what I perceive to be, but what the scripture says, what our Acharya says, what our Tirthankar says. So if we align our thoughts and understanding according to what the scriptures says, which have been taken directly from the sermons of the Tirthankar, then we would be able to get into the path of liberation. And that is the only solution. So problems could be 1 lakh, solution will always be one: right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. Okay. So the process starts with right belief, and for that we need to get rid of darshan monia karma, faith deluding karma, belief deluding karma. So our all efforts, all our energy, all our time is only for this one purpose, to get rid of this delusion, wrong belief, wrong faith, darshan moh. Okay. So we are very clear what is our primary objective. Nothing here and there will do. Little bit of passions getting less won't help. It's are all temporary solution. The permanent solution is getting rid of the delusion in the first place. And what are the 4 pillars of delusion? Who will answer? Jia? Jia is there? 1 minute. Let me see. No, I don't think Jia has joined. Okay, Malti ji, what are the 4 pillars of delusion? Would you try?
I didn't get the question again, please.
What are the 4 pillars of delusion? Delusion means wrong belief, right?
Yeah, wrong belief, yes.
And what are the 4 factors that are responsible for this wrong belief to sustain?
Basically, wrong thoughts, wrong
Okay.
actions.
Okay. Good. But you must have heard it before, because many a times I keep on saying these main things so that
Yes.
at least it gets imbibed in our knowledge. Anyways,
Ekatva. Yes,
today you will
ekatva.
remember.
It's
Who is saying?
mamatva, kartritva,
Madhu,
bhutva,
ekatva.
ekatva.
Who said this?
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Madhuji.
Ah,
This
Right.
was in last class.
Yes, yes. So ekatva buddhi, oneness.
yeah,
Mamatva buddhi, mindness.
madness.
Kartutva buddhi, doership. Bhoktutva buddhi, enjoyership. Now all these, when we do this in the non-self, okay, oneness with non-self, mindness with oneself, doership of non-self, and enjoyership of non-self, then this is delusion. So problem is very simple, and solution is also very simple, provided we connect to the right thinking, we connect to the right understanding. Okay. So although we may be wandering since time immemorial, but it doesn't mean that we are going to take fair amount of time to get into the track. No, it's very simple. It could be done within a antarmurat. Within 48 minutes, you can manifest right belief. Because we all have done something in the past, some good deeds. That's why we are here in this human life, in this Jain family, with access to this true Dev Shastra Guru, with access to this kind of scriptures, which is every now and then making us aware our true identity, what is our potential, what is our function, right? So all these, if you understand it properly, the delusion goes away. And once the delusion goes away, the other division of Mohniya karma, that is conduct deluding karma, okay, which is responsible for the passions that are manifesting in our modification, that goes on gradually. Wrong faith goes in one moment. One moment ago, you are a wrong believer. Next moment, you are a right believer. But conduct takes time, right? So initially, first level of passions will go away. Anantanubandhi Kashay. Then the second level will go away. Third level will go away. Then fourth level will go away, and you will manifest complete detachment. Vitragta. Okay. So let it take time. We are not worried. Once you have switched off the fan, even the fan is moving for some time, but it's going to stop. We know that because we have disconnected the connection. We have switched off, right? So similarly, this charitra monia, conduct deluding karma, will take time. But we are not worried, because once we manifest the right belief, we don't become doer of anything. Not even whatever we do in terms of path of liberation, that doership is also not in our head. Such a relief, relaxed. We have been under so much of stress. We have been under so much of pain just because of the doership. Every now and then we have these thoughts, ये करना है, वो करना है, this करना है, that करना है, ये रह गया, वो रह गया. You never get a thought that this is my house, oneness. This is my body. We never get these thoughts. But this doership is very deep, and it takes a very precise effort to get rid of this doership. Although four are together, okay? But doership and enjoyership goes further deep. Although if you are getting rid of one, you will get rid of the other three also, because all exist simultaneously. But the working on the doership is more difficult because we have those thoughts all the time. Oneness and mindness we have sometime, and enjoyership also not very frequently. But this doership, okay, that occupies our mind every now and then, okay, naturally, without any efforts. So these thoughts keeps on running. So once we get rid of delusion, everything is going to be smooth. So whatever efforts, whatever hardship, whatever struggle you may say, that is to get up to the stage of right belief, then everything becomes easy because you are not the doer. So once you are not the doer, we don't have any responsibilities, because as an entity, our job is to know. So just knowing, doesn't matter what object is coming in front of us, because it doesn't make difference whether we are seeing a beautiful flower or something very ugly, because we are only knowing it, right? We are not doing it. So that takes away all the stress, all the distress, all the depression, anxiety, restlessness, perturbedness, you name it, and it's there. Okay. So in terms of execution, this process is very simple. But in terms of understanding, although we will be doing this 5 years course, but I would like you to work on this from the beginning itself. Get into this groove of understanding the things in the right perspective. And then everything will be very smooth. And while you will be doing the course, you will be having ups and downs in your life. You will have challenges coming to you every now and then. But one support system that you have built for yourself will always be there with you to navigate those situations, and when you win over those situations, that is the excitement, that is the enjoyment, that is really undefinable. You will that will get you the utmost satisfaction, okay, and that level of satisfaction you have never experienced in your worldly success. Okay, you have been all very learned, educated, holding different kinds of positions. You have got many accolades, recognitions, awards, and you consider those experiences, and consider these experiences when you win over real life situations with such calmness and ease, without troubling you, and in a split of seconds. So that is the skill that we are going to develop, and each and every concept of Jinvani, each and every page of Jinvani, each and every paragraph of Jinvani, and each and every line of Jinvani will lead you towards that. Okay. So doesn't matter whatever we read is going to complement our studies, the endeavor to get rid of delusion. Okay. So be happy that we have got all the right connections and associations, and our path is very much clear, very much clear to us what we need to do in terms of our life's purpose. Very difficult to define the purpose of a life. Many a times I've come across people who are very smart, accomplished in their careers, but when it comes to the purpose of life, they fail. They don't realize what is the main purpose of our life, and they get involved in fruitless things, wasting their precious human life, and when the end comes, they realize, but then it is too late. And you are also fortunate to get this, those who are young, to get this at a young age, and this is really going to shape up your life going forward. Okay, so misery caused by monia karma, and that also darshan monia part is very important. So we'll be doing it in very detail, and you have to read it again and again to get to the root of the problem.
Sir,
Yes.
it's there in the these four pillars of delusion.
Hmm.
It's there in our group. Just yesterday I put it.
Yeah. You have sent
It's
one. I was.
explained. It's yeah.
So you have marked it. So it started somewhere around 31 minutes, but I was listening around 10-15 minutes, but I didn't get
Oh,
this thing coming
acha,
up there.
okay, then I'll put it again, sir. It's by mistake.
Acha, so we have
Yeah.
to listen from the starting itself.
Yes. Oh, then it's by mistake. I'll put it again,
Acha,
sir.
so I thought you have specifically marked it so that.
No.
Okay. So that I was thinking why it went wrong. So okay, no problem.
Actually, my cousin is in the same in this group, not in this, matlab in one of the groups. So
Okay.
she sent me. So I
Okay.
said I'll put it. We are doing this only, so I said I'll put it. And I was
Good.
answering, and Himaldi also answered at the same time.
Acha.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
it's
no problem.
very good. Up to the third one, I've listened, and it's very good.
Good. So it
I
all
said it
complements
again,
our
sir.
study only.
Yeah.
So
Yes, sir.
more the references you refer, the better the clarity, because we are
Yeah.
understanding from different angles. So the clarity increases. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 5 points regarding darshan, monia, karma. So the first point we are starting, it will go on to 1.5 page. Then the second point will start. So when the second point starts, I will mention it. But the first point for 1.5 page, and we will begin with Malti ji.
So we are
Yeah.
reading the misery caused by the rise of monia karma.
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
The misery caused by rise of monia karma and release from it. Firstly, owing to rise of darshan moh, wrong belief is caused due to which the substance is not found as per one's belief, and his belief is not according to as the substance is. Therefore, he is always remains agitated. For example, someone puts on a cloth on a madman. That madman, knowing that cloth as his own limb, believes the self and the cloth as one entity. That cloth being under the control of dresser, the dresser sometimes tears it, sometimes joins it, sometimes snatches it, sometimes puts on a new cloth, thus behaves in many ways. That madman believes it under his control, whereas its functioning is under others' control, due to which he feels very much dejected. Similarly, the rise of karmas produce the association of body to this jeev. This jeev, knowing that the body as one's own limb, believes the self and the body as one entity. That body, being dependent on karmas, sometimes become thin, sometimes become obese, sometimes get destroyed, sometimes get newly created. Thus, different conditions are produced. This jeev believes it to be under his control, whereas its functioning is under others' control, due to which he feels very much dejected. Further, where that madman was staying, there came from somewhere some persons, horses, wealth, etc., and halted there. That madman knows them as his own, but they, being under their own control, some come, some depart, and some modify into different forms. That mad person believes all those objects under his control, and their action takes place under others' control, due to which he feels very much dejected. Similarly, wherever this jeev obtains new form, new embodied form, there comes from somewhere son, horse, wealth, etc. on their own. This jeev knows them to be his own, but they being under their own control, some arrive, some depart, some modify into different forms. This jeev believes all those objects under his control and their actions take place under others' control. Due to that, he feels very much dejected. Question: sometimes the functioning or actions of body and sun, etc., also appear to be under the control of this jeev. Then, at least at that time, does this jeev feel happy? Coincidentally, on meeting of the tendency of the desire of jeev and the destined change of the body, etc., some object modifies in a particular way as per his desire. Therefore, at some moment, while thinking about the same event, one feels it to be happiness, but all the objects do not modify in all respects according to his desire. Hence, in his thought process, various forms of agitation continue incessantly. Further, sometimes seeing the objects modifying in some way according to his desire, this jeev feels oneness and mindness in the body, sun, etc. So, owing to this understanding, he always remains agitated from the anxiety of producing, nourishing, and protecting them. Even by bearing several types of pains, he wishes good of them. And the desire of enjoying the objects, occurrence of passions, agreeable, disagreeable feeling in external objects, adoption of contrary means, disbelief in right means, and misconjecturing. The single root cause of all these is wrong faith, that is the misbelief. On its destruction, all perversities get destroyed. Therefore, the root of all miseries is this wrong faith only. Further, he does not make effort to destroy that wrong faith also, since he has accepted the wrong faith as to be the right faith. Why would then he make effort? Further, if by chance the five sense rational beings contemplate
Stop. So we have completed the first point. Okay. So the first example, because of the rise of darshan monia, that is wrong belief. Okay. The substance is not found as per one's belief. Very simple line. But the nature of substance and our belief. Okay. So because of our belief is wrong, whatever we perceive, whatever we see, whatever we understand about a substance is not correct. I'll give you an example. We believe that happiness will come from sensual pleasures, but there is no happiness there. So you don't get happiness. Okay. So you identified the problem. The problem is with the belief and not the substance, right? So substance is not found as per one's belief, and his belief is not according to as the substance. So substance is non-conscious. Okay. It has no conscious. It has no attribute of happiness. But we believe that we will get happiness from the five sensory objects. So his belief is not according to as the substance is. Okay. So same problem, right? Belief problem. जैसा वस्तु का स्वरूप है ऐसा ये मानता नहीं है, और जैसा मानता है वैसा वस्तु का स्वरूप नहीं है. Okay. So this is in one line what is called darshan moh. So whenever you are under the influence of delusions, you don't perceive the things in the right manner, and so the misery continues. Now to get rid of this misery, you have to understand the object as it is. So Srimad Ji in Atma Siddhi wrote, Je Swarup Samajya Vina. He couldn't understand the nature. Okay. Pamyo Dukh Anand. So this soul is suffering, experiencing pain, sorrow, grief. Why? Because Swarup nahi samjha. The nature of each substance, right? So that is the main problem. Then Todarmalji goes on to give one example of a cloth and a madman. So who is a madman and who is the cloth?
So we are the mad people.
Yes, soul. The mundane
soul.
existence, the soul, the ignorant soul is the mad person. And the cloth is the karma. Okay. So this combination of cloth and madman that is being explained. The madman knowing that cloth as his own. Now cloth is just an outer covering on the body. Even the body is not ours. So how can the cloth can be ours? Right. So there starts the delusion. The madman knowing that cloth as his own limb believes the self and the cloth as one entity. And whereas in reality, two different entities. Body and soul different, body and cloth different, soul and cloth different, everything's different. So, since he is a madman, he doesn't have any sense of his own. So, somebody takes care of him and that caretaker changes his dress, whatever has to be taken as a duty, that fellow caretaker does it. But this madman, just because he is mad, he thinks that as his own, and when he tears it out or removes it, he gets sorrowful. Similarly, where he was staying, it was a field, open field, and there some persons, horses, wealth, whole troop, when a king goes for a fight, so when the sun sets in, they halt at a certain place, right? So that was the place they decided to halt. And that mad person thought that these are all my servants, these all wealth is mine, everything is mine. And they halted for overnight stay. In the morning, they started towards their destination. And this fellow got, the madman, become sorrowful because he thought themselves, all these people, as their own. And they are manifesting independently on their own. So this madman again becomes unhappy, right? Similarly is the case of the soul and all the associations. All these associations that we have got have come on its own. And we believe this is my children, this is my parents, this is my spouse, this is my brother, sister, my employee, my house, my. But nothing similar to madman. Madman also believes as his own, and we also believe as is our. So what is the difference? Okay. So here you need to work out. You have to understand the things in the right perspective, that nothing belongs to earth. Everything, all the six substances in the universe are independently functioning. Nobody is a doer of another thing. Nobody can help another thing. Nobody can harm another thing, right? Each substance is performing its own task independently. Each substance is complete in itself. No need of any help, because each substance is complete in itself, right? So understanding this nature of things helps you to understand the things in the right perspective. And then your delusion will go away. If you apply this process, if you start learning, analyzing the things that you believe, example, you believe that your son should bring in such and such marks in the school. Okay. So first of all, it's your imagination, is your expectation, it is your desire. And you work for it also. Get him tuitions, follow up with the homeworks, teachers, these, that. You do everything that you could do, right, as a guardian. But that person is independent. His merits and demerits are with him, right? So he performs independently and he doesn't get marks according to your expectations. And so you are sorrowful. You are suffering from misery. Why? One single reason I want. Why? What is the cause of that suffering?
We get the pleasure when he gets good marks. That is the reason.
So that means you want to say expectation, right?
Expectation due to our senses.
Yeah, expectations. Okay. Anyone else?
Desires.
Okay, desires, expectation, more or less same thing.
He feels that this is mindness, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Good answers. Anyone else?
So, because the child is a pad and I have no control over him,
Mhm.
I-
One word.
oh,
Yeah, you are going on the right track. But what you conclude? One word.
Attachment.
Okay. Next. Who else? Apart from these suggestions, any other suggestions? Or we are done with all? Soumya, what would you suggest? Soumya knows the right answer.
Sir, could it be Mamatva Buddhi?
Okay. That is also okay.
Sir, can you please repeat the question?
So, I gave an example.
Mm-hmm.
A mother and his son.
Mm-hmm.
Mother is expecting the son to get some good marks in the exam, and that has not worked. And
Mm-hmm.
mother becomes sorrowful,
Mm-hmm.
is suffering, right? So why she is suffering? What is the cause in one word? So somebody said expectation, somebody said desire, somebody said oneness, somebody said mindness. Do you
Yes,
have
sir.
a
So it is, okay. Sorry.
yeah?
Sir, it is due to not understanding Krambadh Paryay, not understanding that things are beyond her or her son's control.
Okay, independent nature. Okay.
One
Anyone
more thing,
else?
doership, sir.
So,
Doership, sir.
Pardon? Doership.
Doership, sir. Doer.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
One more thing,
oneness we
sir.
have got, mindness we have got, doership we have got, and I
Bhogatvam.
add
She
it to
wants to
enjoyership.
enjoy the
But one word, so you have to say
Bhogatva Buddhi,
delusion.
sir. Bhogatva
Delusion,
Buddhi.
sir.
Delusion.
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 I was going to say wrong belief. Very,
Yeah, wrong belief. Wrong belief. Wrong belief is okay. Wrong belief, delusion, wrong faith is all same. That is the root cause. Now, because of delusion, there is a desire. Just because the delusion is there, so you get a desire that such thing should happen. And it does not happen. Just like this madman. People are coming on its own and they are going away. And that man becomes sorrowful. Right? Dejected. Why? Because of his expectation. Right? So we come to the conclusion that because of this influence of delusion, we are all suffering through sorrow. Okay. Now getting into this question again. Sometimes the functioning of action of body and sun also appears to be under control. Things happen according to our expectation. I tried hard and I got 50 out of 50. So your desire and your expectation and the result are matching now. So then at least you feel happy. That is what the question is. Now see the answer. Coincidentally, on meeting of the tendency of the desire of Jeev and of the destined change of the body, etc., some object modifies in a particular way as per his desire. So you desired 50 out of 50 and you got 50 out of 50. Therefore, at some moment, while thinking about the same event, one feels it to be happiness. Wow! Everybody will say, congratulations. So one feels it to be happiness. But all the objects do not modify in all aspects according to his desire. So once you got 50 out of 50, so the next week, the second paper is coming up. So again, now this time also I'll get 50 out of 50. Then the third time 50 out of 50, but you don't get it. So again, you are not happy, right? So one desire is met with supposing because of your meritorious past karma, right? But every time you cannot get things done according to your expectation, right? So This expectation or the desire is the cause, and delusion is the cause for this expectation or desire. Okay. So we are analyzing the causes, and the root cause is always the delusion. But beyond delusion also, we look at some other points also. Ultimately, we all come to delusion only. But before that, there are some steps. That is what here it is being analyzed. While thinking about this, one feels it to be happiness, but all the objects do not modify in all respects according to his desire. Hence, in his thought process. So, in his thought process means in his intention. Okay. Here, Hindi words use it abhipray. Okay. So, abhipray is intention or intent. Here, they have put in words as thought process. So, this translation I think was done 25 years ago. So, whatever words were used, some are not appropriate, but nevertheless we have to manage. We are still translating some of the scriptures first time. Even first time also it is not there. I am hand to mouth in the 2023 batch. Now tomorrow I have to something teach. I finished that review and all just 1-2 days ago only. So, but for in your case, it's still we have everything covered, right? Because you are the second batch in English for me. There was another batch before me also in English, but that teacher managed with the Hindi books because she is a teacher at university, right? So she has got a vast experience of 30-35 years. So she manages with the Hindi scriptures and then explains in Hindi, English. But the students want textbook, you know. So that's why we are translating every books in English through ChatGPT, and then of course we have to do here and there some mistakes coming up. But nevertheless, it is getting done, right? So this translation is a bit at sometimes they use wrong words, you know. So the right words here would be the intention. But is in intention, various forms of agitation continue incessantly. Okay. So first we have to remove this from the intention. Let our understanding be clear. There is no place of desire being fulfilled. There are 3 limitations to this desire. I will tell only once. And this thing you have to repeat it again and again and again, right? Maybe I will be asking you in class every now and then, but you just remember it for once and all. For desire, one of the points we discussed that if one of the desire is fulfilled because of our past meritorious karma, you expect and things happen accordingly and you become happy. But then, same time, another expectation crops up. By the time that gets fulfilled, another crops up. So there is never a moment where you are devoid of any kind of desire, right? Of course, the root cause is delusion, but how we are not considering that right now. We are analyzing it. Okay. So desire has got 3 points. Okay. First point is that one desire gets fulfilled, another crops up, another gets fulfilled, another gets up. So for a single moment, you are not without desire. And so long the desire persists, the sorrowness, the anxiety, the perturbedness, okay, restlessness, it keeps on happening, right? Now you are supposed to take a flight. Now it is 9:17 and your reporting time is 10 o'clock at the airport and you are 1 hour away from the airport and there is a traffic jam. With every moment, what is your mental situation? Now, this is something we are defining perturbedness. Then the traffic opened up. You are rushing through. Then just 10 minutes remaining. You are just worrying. And then there is another traffic jam. Just imagine what will you go through. So all these experiences will make you realize what is perturbedness, akulta. And this is a characteristics of sorrow. Akulta is a characteristics of sorrow. Perturbedness, restlessness, anxiety. These are the characteristics of sorrow. Okay. So again, expectation is every time there, right? So this is the first point with desire. One desire gets fulfilled, another comes up. You are never without a desire. Second point, each soul has got this desire, and the amount of desire is so big that all the material that are available in this universe, if we put together and give it to you, then also it is just a 1% of your total desire. So when your desires will get fulfilled? Never. There is no way can anybody's desire will get fulfilled. Okay. So this was the second point. The third point, again very interesting. This is from Sem4 Gatha number 216. Okay. Third point. When the desire is there, the object is not there. And when the object is there, the desire has gone. Because desires are momentary, right? One moment you are so obsessed to buy a mobile phone, and you search the internet and you order for Amazon, and the next day the delivery boy is there, but you are not excited to receive it. Why? Because that desire has gone. It was yesterday and I already ordered, and now the delivery has come, but you are no more interested. You have other thoughts in your mind. You have some tension in your office. You have something going in your relationship. You have something going at your home. You never know. So you are preoccupied with that. So that mobile phone delivery is now immaterial to you. Why? So object is there, but desire is not there. So there is never a matching of desire and object. When the object is there, the desire is gone. When the desire is there, object is gone. So having a desire is of no use. Better you remain on acceptance mode. Whatever happens, accept it. Don't expect it. Right? Expectation is the chief cause of our sorrow. With expectation, you manifest perturbedness, restlessness, and these are all the characteristics of sorrow. The whole connection you understood, right? And why the desire comes up in the first place, that we already discussed, because of delusion. Okay. So these three things with desire, 3 points of desire, true nature of desire. So you understand these 3 points and understand the true nature of desire, and you must ask me then how to get rid of this desire. Who will answer? Soumya.
Sir, by removing delusion.
Okay, good. So how, when the delusion is removed, how the desire does not arise?
Sir, by understanding the first thing that things are independent in their nature, we cannot control them.
Right.
Second thing, our happiness is lying within us and not in the objects that we want to achieve, or what are the
Right.
causes of desire.
Right.
Sir, I just 2 points are coming to my mind right now.
Good. But these are both correct. So the first, like how to get rid of this desire. So fulfilling of desire is not a solution. Okay. So when you take shelter in your soul, that is the time you manifest purity. Okay. So when you take shelter in your soul, when you experience your soul, the first level of desire goes off. first quadruplet. Okay. Anantanubandhi desire goes off. 3 levels are there. Even a right believer in the 4th stage have desire. He does business, he marries, he have all sorts of things. But the first level of desire is not there. 3 levels are there. As 3 levels of passion, similarly, passion and desire are more or less the one category. Okay. So that kind of that level of desire is not there, but other levels of desires are there. So you are still experiencing sorrow. Okay. So desire, by when you take shelter in your soul, you realize yourself, you manifest the purity. To the extent that you manifest the purity, to that extent desire is not there, and that is the way of getting rid of desire. Understood? How to get
Sir,
rid of desire? By getting satisfied in yourself, in your pure soul, you manifest purity, and the extent to which the purity is manifested, to the same extent the desire is not there. Okay. So direct connection with purity. So the amount of purity that you manifest, similar level of desire you don't manifest. So getting rid of desire, the solution is you take shelter in yourself. When you take shelter in yourself, there is a level of satisfaction that you are getting, which you don't get in any of the sensual pleasures. Okay. So this is the way how you get rid of desire. Every time this answer will come, you manifest right belief, right knowledge, right conduct. So when you manifest right belief, first quadruplet of passion goes off. So Anantanubandhi desire has gone off. Okay. Now 3 levels are remaining. So again, with practice of discriminative knowledge, you will keep on taking shelter of your soul. The purity keeps on increasing. The impurities keep on decreasing. The desire keeps on decreasing. Then the second level goes off. Then the third level goes off. And of course, the 4th level goes off. Now you completely free of passions, completely free of desires, and you are most happiest. Okay. So this is in a nutshell the whole path of liberation. Okay, so we discussed only one point of desire in the textbook so far. I have explained you 3. The other 2 are coming up. Let's get into it. That further, sometimes seeing the objects modifying in some way according to his desire, the jeev feels oneness and mineness. Okay, ekatva mamatva. So kartutva and bhoktutva is also there. Okay, it's implied. It's not mentioned here, but you have to see. Okay, in the body, sun, etc. So owing to this understanding, wrong understanding, right? There cannot be any oneness and mineness with the non-self, but just this feels oneness and mineness with the non-self. Owing to this understanding, he always remain agitated, perturbed, anxiety, restless, from the anxiety of producing, nourishing, maintaining, protecting them. Okay. So your son gets less marks. No, your son gets good marks and your neighbor's son get less marks. Are you worried? No. Why? Because my oneness is not there. Right? And why you are worried when your son gets less marks? Because my oneness is with there. Right? So this way you get connections. He always remain agitated from the anxiety of producing, nourishing and protecting them. Even by bearing several types of pains, he wishes good of them. Okay. Now, different types of 6 types of effect, after effect of delusion is coming. Because the delusion is there, so these 6 things will happen. You just check it. First point. And the desire of enjoying the objects. Okay. Because of delusion, you want to enjoy the objects. Why? Because there is happiness. Why? Because of delusion, you believe so. It is not there. But delusion forces you to believe that there is happiness. So this is A, enjoying the objects. Second, desire of things happening to according to our passions. Suppose you have anger in your mind. So you want to get what you call it? You want to harm somebody, right? And some person harms him, you become happy because you wanted to harm. You could not do it, but somebody else is doing, so you are happy. ठीक हुआ, ठीक हुआ, ठीक हुआ. Okay, so this is the second point. Occurrence of passions. Okay. Third, agreeable and disagreeable feeling in external objects. East अनिष्ट पना परद्रव्य में external objects. Now there is nothing called good or bad in any external objects. It all depends on us. Now rain falling, it is good for the farmer, but there is a potter, a neighbor. That potter is unhappy because rain is falling, he cannot do his business. So rain is good or bad? Then you will say rain is good for the farmer and bad for the potter. No, rain is rain itself. It is depending on you how you perceive it, right? So there is no agreeable, disagreeable feeling in external objects. But because of delusion, we believe this to be something has to be agreeable and something has to be disagreeable. Okay? There is nothing such. Object is object.
So 1 minute, sir.
Hmm.
So in practicality, we should think कि चलो जो हुआ सो हुआ and समता भाव रखना ऐसा.
हाँ, वो समता भाव आएगा जब ऐसा सोचेगा कि कुछ बुरा ही नहीं हुआ है, राइट?
हाँ.
सब बराबर ही हुआ है. Whatever has happened, everything is in perfect order.
विधि का विधान ऐसे
हाँ,
सोचना.
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ.
Okay.
So these are the principles that you learn.
सर बट उससे उससे अकाम निर्जरा होगी सर, समता भाव केवल रखने से, विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द ट्रू नेचर ऑफ सब्सटेंसेस.
So we are
along with that, I mean.
Along with that, yeah. So
Yes.
the discussion is along with delusion. What are the side effects of delusion? So because of delusion, you believe something to be agreeable, something to be disagreeable. So because of delusion, this is happening. All these 6 points is just because of delusion. Okay. Because the point we are considering now is owing to darshan monia. What are things happening? What are the things happening in the modification of his soul owing to delusion, right? D, fourth point. Adaptation of contrary means. So you choose the wrong solution. Contrary means. It's not the right mean, but you believe this is the right means. Okay. So obviously you are going to get a wrong result because you have adapted wrong means. So adaptation of contrary means. Fifth point, disbelief in right means. जो right means है, just now I told you to get rid of desire, what you need to do? To take shelter in your soul, experience yourself, manifest happiness, and the level of happiness that you manifest, to that same extent, the desire does not crop up. And this is the way to get rid of desire. So if you don't adapt the right means, how you will become happy? So because of delusion, disbelief in right means remains. Last point, misconjecturing, imagination, okay, wrong guesses. What is misconjecturing? Misconjecturing, okay, what is this? Imagination, kalpana, right? Because of delusion, you are doing kalpana. ये हो जाएगा तो अच्छा होगा, एक बंगला बनेगा प्यारा, रोटी कपड़ा मकान ये वो, like you keep on thinking, you get those things and still you are not happy because that was not the cause of happiness, right? So the single root cause of all these is, what is this? Wrong faith, misbelief. Okay, so we are coming to the root cause of all these. So unless and until you understand all these, you will not be able to understand the delusion in the right sense. Okay. So this explanation of Todermalji are very good. You should read it in again and again. And then you relate it to your day-to-day life. Where my beliefs are. What I am thinking about this. What is my expectation of this. Why I am expecting this. Right. So this way you will be able to identify the delusion that persists and the way forward. On its destruction, all perversities get destroyed. Therefore, the root of all miseries is this wrong faith only. This is the end of first point. Now, next 3 lines is point number 2. Okay. So, Madhuji, you read point number 2. Then point number 3.
Yes, sir. Further, he does not make effort to destroy that wrong faith, also since he has accepted the wrong faith as to be the right faith. Why would then he make effort?
Stop. So, another very important point, he has accepted the wrong faith as to be the right faith. Right? So, if somebody believes that I am a right believer, then he is not making any efforts to get the right belief done, because he already believes that I have the right belief. So, unless and until you believe that there is a delusion and that delusion has to be eliminated, you don't make efforts, right? So, this is the problem here. He does not make any effort to destroy that wrong faith. And also, since he has accepted the wrong faith as to be the right faith, why would then he make effort? Okay, second point. Now, the third point. Pratibhaji, you read third point. Further, if by chance, one paragraph only.
Okay. Further, if by chance the five sense rational being contemplates about the means of ascertaining the tattvas, realities, thereupon, if due to misfortune, he comes into contact with the false deity, false preceptor, false scriptures, then the misbelief in tattvas gets fostered. His understanding was that he will be benefited by this, but they provide such a means due to which he may become unconscious. He was making efforts for ascertaining the true nature of substance, reality, but contrarily becomes firm in false belief, and consequently, due to increase of passions and sensual desires, becomes more miserable.
So, a rational being, because an irrational being cannot manifest right belief, cannot get rid of delusion. Okay. So, Sangi Panchendriya, a five sensed being with mind, can develop, can manifest right belief. Okay. He can ascertain, understand the fundamental elements, 7 elements. Okay. Thereupon, if due to misfortune, now he has this curiosity to understand the real nature of the elements, but because of his misfortune, he comes into contact with false deity. Kudev, Kuguru, Kusastra. Very danger problem, right? Then the misbelief in tattvas gets fostered. So he wanted to get rid of misbelief, and for that he went to the deity, scriptures, and preceptor. But they were all wrong, false, false deity, false scripture, and false preceptor. So instead of getting rid of delusion, it got fostered, it increased, right? His understanding was that he will be benefited by these, by getting into this Kudev Kuguru Shastra. But they provide such a means due to which he may become unconscious. That means by following their preachings and teachings, that fellow lost his ability to think right. He is now mesmerized. He is under the influence of them. जाओ डोनेट कर दो इतना रुपया तुम्हारा काम हो जाएगा. And he started donating. And coincidentally काम भी हो गया. Then his belief becomes strong. So you want to get that order, Soumya? You pay 2 lakhs to that and you will get that 50 lakh order. So easy. So easy to do religion. Just pay 2 lakhs and here you getting 50 lakhs, and with that 50 lakhs, all your sensual pleasures will be met and you will be happy. So because of misfortune, he got in touch with those people for doing religion and said religion is like this, you donate this much and you get this. So his wrong belief was already there, and it increased further because he went to false deity, false scriptures and false preceptor. Okay. He became unconscious. So unconscious doesn't mean behosh, like physically getting unconscious. Unconscious means his thinking power uh, has been hijacked. He's not able to think rationally. That is what it means. So when you get into the influence of Kudev, Kuguru, Kusastra, these things happen. And that's why, while explaining the qualities of a right believer in Chedala, you have read, that right believer should manifest this 8 anga. Samyak drashti ke 8 ang. Okay. And then devoid of 25 flaws, right? 25 types of transgression. 8 mad, 8 shanka adi dosh, right? 6 anayatan, and what else?
Sir, teen murta.
Teen murta, right? So in teen murta also there is Kudev, Kuguru, Kusastra. Then in 8 ang also, in the Amud ang, there is again this. In Chai Anayatan also this. So it has been mentioned at 3 places. So never get into false deity, false scripture and false preceptor. If you get into there, you are gone. You are thinking that you will get rid of delusion, but on the contrary, the delusion gets fostered. 2 losses. One loss, first loss, that you get far away from right belief. Okay. The second loss, you bind demerits karma. Okay. And when the fruition of those demerits will come, you will suffer. Okay. 2 losses. एक तो सम्यक दर्शन दूर हो गया, दूसरा पाप बंध, bondage of demerits, total loss. Okay. So never get into. Even if you are not having access to a temple or anything like that, no problem. But don't get into the wrong one. Okay. We'll discuss this in detail in the 6th chapter of Moksha Marg Prakashak, and that will be in the next sem. Okay. No problem. So he was making efforts for ascertaining the true nature of substance, but contrarily becomes firm in false belief, and consequently, due to increase of passions and sensual desire, becomes more miserable. So the solution went to the wrong direction. So this was the 3rd point. Now the 4th point. Payal, you read. Further, if by chance are you
Yes.
there?
Yeah. Further, if by chance the 5 sense rational being,
No.
down below, right?
The nimit.
Further, if by chance the nimit of true deity perceptor scripture is also met with, even then he does not develop belief in the real sense of their preachings, but remains a misbeliever of tattvas, realities, owing to faith in conventional preaching. There, if passions become feeble and the desire for objects is reduced, then he becomes less miserable, but afterwards reverts to the same condition. Therefore, whatever efforts this mundane being makes, they too are false.
Okay. So even getting into the true deity, true preceptor and true scripture. Okay. Still, he does not develop belief in the real sense of their preachings, but remains a misbeliever of realities owing to faith in conventional preaching. So we have preachings of two types, one from real point of view, one from conventional point of view. And we all know that conventional point of view is not the real one, right? The real one is the real one, but
Yeah.
you have faith in the conventional, you believe it to be a real one, then also your problem persists. There, if passions becomes feeble, weak, and the desire for objects is reduced, then he becomes less miserable, but afterwards revert to same condition. Okay. Therefore, whatever efforts this mundane being makes, they too are false. So this is a situation where he got access to true deity, true scriptures and true preceptors. But he gave two kinds of preachings, one from the real point of view and one from the conventional point of view. He adapted the conventional point of view and thought as to be the true religion. So then also his belief, his delusion doesn't go away because he has opted the wrong. You have to opt both, real in the real sense, conventional in the conventional sense. So from conventional sense, I would say going to mandir is dharma, giving donation is dharma, then doing fasting is dharma. Conventional way, no problem. You accept it as a conventional way. You don't accept it as a real way. That's all. And then, of course, the real point of view, what is the dharma? That when you take shelter in your soul, when you realize yourself, when you experience yourself, that is the time you manifest passionlessness, vitragta, and that is the true religion. So there is a difference, right? Something you have to do at your intellect level, understand, make decision, contemplate, okay? So that you didn't do. And you adapted the conventional whatever was suggested. So then also your delusion persists. You are not getting rid of the delusion. You have to strike a balance between two. Whatever is being said from the real perspective, you adapt it. You make your belief change to that. And whatever is being said from the conventional point of view, that is something that you have to adapt at the mind, speech and body level. That is an activity of the body, right? How can that be true religion? But when is along with that true religion, then it is also called religion, but from the conventional point of view. Okay. So,
Sir,
yes.
sir, wrong belief plus karma. That's why he rewards.
Yeah. So wrong belief, when you have a wrong belief, there is a corresponding karma also there. मिथ्यात्व प्रकृति है, कर्म की प्रकृति भी है, and मिथ्यात्व is wrong belief also. So one is at the soul level, one is at the matter level. So it goes on simultaneously.
Yes.
Without any karma, right? Nothing wrong will happen. Whatever wrong happens in life, there is a corresponding rise of karma. Okay. Whatever happened by taking shelter in the self is devoid of effect of karma. Okay. So when you take shelter of the self, whatever you manifest is everything independent. It is not dependent on the karmas. So you manifest right belief not because of karma, because of your efforts. You are manifesting right belief. You are taking you are taking shelter in yourself. Okay, you are manifesting purity. So that is not dependent on the karma.
So karma arise hota rahega. तब क्या करना? Go back to your soul.
So you put in efforts. You put in efforts. The karma will not affect you. There is a rise of karma, but you put the right effort. You take shelter in your soul. That problem will go away.
जी. Thank you, sir.
You know, there was one monk who was having leprosy, code, for 700 years. You will have one story in Aap Kuch Bhi Kaho coming up in the next sem, I suppose. Not next sem, next to next, I think. 6th sem, okay. So in that there is a story that he was having this disease for 700 years and he never thought of doing any solution. And it went off automatically without doing anything. So it has so much power. your meditation, your taking shelter in yourself has got so much power that it will destroy all the karmas that you have bound. The karma will not be able to give you any effect. That's how the nirjara happens. Dissociation of bondage happens in this way only. One is a natural course of dissociation, that old karmas are coming into fruition, new karmas you are binding, and that cycle goes on. And there is another where old karma are coming into fruition, you are not manifesting any passions, new karmas are not binding, and the cycle has stopped. So whatever old accumulation is there will come and go away, and you will get liberated. And that is the path of liberation. Okay. Now the last point, fifth point, very important one. Soumya, you read.
Moreover, the other effort that this mundane being adopts is that he wishes to modify the substances according to his belief. If those objects get modified accordingly, then his belief may be true. But the substances are eternal, separate from each other, and modify within their respective limits. None is dependent on other, none modifies by any other causing it to modify. Desiring to modify them is no remedy, it is assuredly wrong faith. What is the right means
Stop,
then?
stop, stop. Right means we are coming up later. The last point, very important point, because it's written in bold letter. You can see, right? So just 3-4 lines and you will feel absolutely relaxed. Moreover, the other effort that this mundane being, wrong believer, adopts is that he wishes to modify the substance according to his belief. Okay. So this is again like that mad person. Okay. If those objects get modified accordingly, then his belief may be true. But the substance are eternal, independent, separate from each other, and modify within their respective limits. Okay, modify within their respective limits means modify within their respective substance, attributes, and modification, the structure, right? So each structure is independent, each substance is independent, each attributes is independent, each modification is independent, everything is independent, right? There is nothing that something is dependent on this and something is dependent on that. No, nothing. Everything is independent. So how is it possible that whatever desire that you have, things will move accordingly? No, that is not possible. None is dependent on other. None modifies by any other causing it to modify. Desiring to modify them is no remedy. It is assuredly wrong faith. So the desire crops up because of wrong faith. Because of wrong faith, you have these desires. Desires of sensual pleasures, desires to get things done according to passions, desire to believe something to be good and something to be bad. Okay? When there is nothing called good or bad in any objects, external objects. Objects are objects. It could be good to you, but not good to somebody else. So object in itself is not good or bad. It is how you perceive it to be. Okay? If there is some person attacking you, so for you it's an attack. But for a monk, it is an opportunity to practice his strength of discriminative knowledge. And Parsnath Swami, when he was a monk, he was attacked by Kamat and he manifested omniscience knowledge and got liberated. Right? So it is external objects are not good or bad. It is because of our wrong belief we consider some objects to be good and some objects to be bad. Some beneficial, some non-beneficial. Those that are beneficial, we feel, we manifest attachment. Those we feel that are not beneficial, we develop a feeling of aversion to them. So this is sansar. Consider object as object, not good, not bad. Okay. So this you could do when you get rid of delusion. Okay. So each substance is independent. There is no way that things will move according to your desire. Okay. So understanding all these, understanding the 3 points on desire will help you to get rid of desire, will help you to take shelter in your soul. Okay. And the desire will not crop up. So what is the right means then? Now all the problems have been discussed. Now we are coming to the right means. What problem we discussed through 5 points? What are the effects of darshan monia karma? Faith deluding karma. When there is a rise of faith deluding karma, what are the situations happening in a mundane existence? And we discussed it at length. What are the things that are happening? Okay. Now what is the right means then? Hemali.
What is the right means then? If one's belief becomes as per the nature of the substance, then all miseries come to an end. Just as someone deludedly believed the corpse to be alive or tries to make it alive, then he himself becomes miserable. And believing it to be dead or having the faith that this will not become alive by trying to make it alive is the only means to get rid of that misery. Similarly, if someone holding wrong faith misbelieves the substances, tries to change them otherwise, then he himself becomes miserable. And believing them correctly and having the faith that these will not change otherwise by trying to get them changed is the only means to get rid of that misery. The remedy of the misery caused by delusion is to remove the delusion only. So, on removal of delusion, right belief originates, and that alone is to be known as the real remedy.
So, sorry. So, what is the remedy? Remedy of the misery caused by delusion is to remove the delusion only. भ्रम जनित दुख दूर होने का उपाय भ्रम दूर करना ही है. Okay. So the remedy of the misery caused by delusion is to remove the delusion only. So how this delusion will be removed? By manifesting right belief. How right belief can be manifested? Good answer.
Because the soul is just to see and know.
How
like that.
does right belief could be manifested? What you have to do in terms of efforts to get to the right belief?
So, remove delusion.
So that is what the question was. That remedy of the misery is to remove delusion. To
Yeah.
remove delusion, you have to get to right belief. And to get to right belief, what efforts you should take?
Tattva, sir.
Right scriptures, right conduct, right belief,
Contemplation.
right scriptures, right
Deity and right preceptor.
conduct,
True Dev Shastra Guru. That's what you want to mean to say?
right knowledge, right.
Okay, right. Okay. Anyone
No,
else?
but yes, sir. After getting access to all these, contemplate again and again and come to a decision that I am only a knower. I am not a doer. So coming to a decision is more
yes.
important.
So first step would be getting into true God, true scriptures and true monks. Okay. The next step would be reading the scriptures, understanding it, contemplating on it, and then making a decision on it. This is the efforts that you have to put in. Okay. So good. Now misery caused to charitra monia, conduct deluding karma. So owing to the rise of charitra monia karma, there are 25 kinds of passions that are manifesting. Okay. And when each passion arises, what are the conditions that soul's modification goes through is being expressed here so vividly that you will be able to connect it to your day-to-day life. Okay. So we come to this owing misery due to charitra moh, and then of course the solution release from it. Okay. So Rekha, you read.
So I'll start from misery is due to Charitra Moha and release from it.
Right.
Owing to rise of Charitra Moha, conduct deluding karma, impure dispositions of Jiva in the form of anger, etc., passion and laughter, etc., quasi passions are caused. Then this Jiva, sorrowfully feeling much afflicted, indulges in several types of evil deeds anxiously. The same is being explained. When a person is overpowered by anger passion, then he desires to harm others, and for that purpose, he thinks about various means, utters heartbreaking words by using abusive language. He starts killing by his own limbs, hands, etc., and by arms, stones, etc. He tries to harm others, even by harming the self through undergoing a lot of pains, by spending money, and by committing suicide. Or if he knows that the one can be harmed through others, then he tries to get him harmed through others. Or if one gets harmed on his own, then he approbates it. Even if by others' harm, none of his purpose gets fulfilled. Yet he harms him on the rise of anger. If some venerable, can you just scroll? Venerable or well-wishers who well-wishers also intervene in the matter, then he abuses them also, starts beating them, and becomes irrational. And if no harm be caused to other person, then he feels very sorry in his heart of his own and cuts his own limbs, and even dies by swallowing poison, etc. Such condition happens on rise of anger passion.
So one passion, only one point. Yeah, anger passion has been explained in so detail. You understand it point wise. First point. Okay. Owing to the rise of charitra moya karma. Okay. Conduct deluding karma. Passions arise. Disposition of jeev in the form of anger, etc. Anger, etc. means anger and 25 passions. But now he is discussing anger only. Okay. So anger, etc. passions, and laughter, etc. quasi passions. Okay. So anger and its four levels. Okay. So 4 into 4, 16. And then 9 we have quasi passions, laughter, etc. are caused. Then this jiva, sorrowfully feeling much afflicted, indulge in several types of evil deeds anxiously. The same is being explained. Okay. First point. When a person is overpowered by anger, passion, then he desires to harm others, and for that purpose he thinks about various means. Now this is at the mind level. Thinking is at the mind level. So first point is what is he is doing at the mind level, what he is doing at the speech level, and what he is doing at the body level. Mind, speech and body. So what is do? For that purpose he thinks about various means. Mind. Utters heartbreaking words, speech, by using abusive language. Third, so he starts killing by his own limbs. So this is bodily activity. So mind, speech and body. That was the first point. And by arms, stones. Okay. So this was first point ended. Now the second point starts. Krut, karit, anmodna. Krut means he does his own self. Karit, he gets it done by somebody else. And anumodna, he applauds if others are doing it. Okay. So all these three have equal results. Okay. Whether you are doing yourself or you are getting done through somebody else, or you are not doing yourself, you are not getting it done by others, but someone else is doing on its own, then you just applaud it. Okay. So these are called three. Second point, Krut, Karit, Anmodna. How you just see. He tries to harm others even by harming the self through undergoing lot of spend, by spending money and by committing suicide. Or if he knows that one can be harmed through others. So So first he is doing himself. What he does by himself, he starts harming others. Okay. Then he harming even by harming self. Okay. By spending a lot of money. So all this is doing on his own. Now the second point. Or if he knows that the one can be harmed through others. Okay. So this is getting done by others. Then he tries to get him harmed through others. So this is karit. Then the third one, anumodna, applaud. Or if one gets harmed on his own, then he approbates it, applauds it. Okay. So this is the second point. Now the third point. Okay. So first one was mind, speech and body. Second one was krut, karit, anumodna. Doing own self, getting it done by others, and something being done independently, but he applauds it. Okay. So second point. Now the third point. Even if by others harm, none of his purpose gets fulfilled. Now, if I wish that Hemali gets difficulties in his life, what is going to help me in my way? It's nothing. It's going to do nothing in my life. But still, I think that way. Okay. So this is the third point. Even if by others harm, none of his purpose gets fulfilled, yet he harms him. And on the rise of anger, if some venerable, okay, venerable means respected, okay, seniors or well-wishers also intervene in the matter, then he abuses them also, starts beating them and becomes irrational. Okay. So the first one was, third one was starting from here. Even if by others harm, none of his purpose gets fulfilled, yet he harms him. Okay. So this was third point. The fourth point. On the rise of anger, if some respected, venerable or well-wishers also intervene in the matter, okay, then he abuses them also. So this was fourth point. Fifth point. So starts beating him and becomes irrational. All these are fourth point. Now the fifth point. And if no harm be caused to others person, then he feels very sorry in his heart. So he tried to do harm to others, but that fellow could not be harmed. Then what he does? He feels very sorry in his heart of his own and cuts his own limbs. He gets so much frustrated that he cuts his own limbs and even dies by swallowing poisons, suicides. Such condition happen on the rise of anger passion. So with the rise of anger passion, he wants to do certain things, and if that thing doesn't happen, he experiences all these kinds of sentiments. So one passion we discussed, anger. Now the next, pride, then deceit, then greed. Okay, one by one. Similarly, you have to put points here. First will be mind, speech and body. The second will be doing own, getting it done by others, and then applauding it. 3 points there, second point. Then third point, fourth point. Similar pattern will go on in all the three passions. So will be just read through it. You have to do it in your homework. Okay. So Urja, you read next 3 paragraphs. And when a person is overpowered by pride, passion. Are you there?
No, sir.
Oh, she has left. Okay. So Payal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next 3 paragraphs. From pride, passion. Okay. This one. And when a person is overpowered by pride, passion.
Yes. And when a person is overpowered by pride, passion, then he desires to humiliate others and exalts himself. For this purpose, he plans many schemes. He censures others and extols himself and undermines others' image, prestige through various ways and means, and magnifies his own image. The wealth which he has collected with great pains, spends in marriages, etc., and spends even by taking loans, thinking that his name and fame will remain even after his death. He tries to magnify his self-esteem even by committing suicide. If someone does not pay respect, then he tries to earn respect even by giving threats and creating trouble for others. Moreover, under the pressure of pride, he does not pay respect even to honorable and elderly persons and becomes irrational. If he does not find others in the let down position and himself in the higher position, then he inwardly feels very sorry and cuts his own limbs and even dies by taking poison, etc. Such condition happens on the rise of pride passion. And when a person is overpowered by deceit, passion, then he desires to accomplish his objective deceptively. For the purpose of accomplishing it, he plans many schemes, utters deceitful words in different ways, poses his body deceitfully, tries to show external things otherwise, even indulges in such deceitful actions which may end his life. On exposure of his deception, he may get badly harmed, even death may occur, yet he remains undaunted. Under the influence of deception, even if some venerable and adorable persons come in his contact, he acts deceitfully with them also and becomes irrational. If his objective does not get accomplished by deception, then he feels extremely sorry and cuts his own limbs and commits suicide by taking poison, etc. Such condition happens on rise of deceit passion. And when a person is overpowered by greed passion, then the desire of obtaining the favorite objects arises, and for the purpose of accomplishing it, he plans in various ways. He utters words in support of his objective, poses his body in different ways, tolerates a lot of miseries, serves others, visits foreign countries, even he indulges in that work which may lead to his death, and starts such activities which may cause great sufferings to him. And on the rise of greed passion, even if there is some work related to the venerable and adorable persons, then also he tries to achieve his goal and becomes irrational. And whatever desired thing he has obtained, he tries to protect it by various means. If the desired object is not obtained or the favorite thing is lost, then he himself feels very much distressed, cuts his limbs and dies by taking poison, etc. Such condition happens when one is overpowered by greed passion. Thus
the person afflicted by passion indulges in these various activities. So these are the four major passions. One we have discussed in detail, three we have not discussed, three have just read it. That is for your homework. Okay. And think of one instance where you experience this one of the four passions. Okay. So Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, four passions are there: anger, pride, deceit, and greed. Okay. So you think one example for each passion, and I would ask you in the next class each one of the four passions. You prepare four, but I will ask only one. I will say, Hemali, you say about pride passion. So the one day, you know, you will have to give some example where you experienced pride. So realizing that you have manifested pride is very important. We never realize that we are under the influence of pride. We are under the influence of deceit. When we are cheating somebody, when we are doing wrong, when we are doing immoral things, we don't believe. We don't feel that we are doing something wrong. Okay. When you have manifested greed, just going to a showroom and seeing good dresses, you feel like buying it. That is greed. That object you are seeing, you are a knower. You have to just know and not manifest greed. Okay. So the difference between remaining a knower and the resultant passion that has erupted, okay, that two difference you should make out. Okay. What is your true nature and what you have done as a manifestation. These two, if you are able to differentiate, you will be able to practice discriminative knowledge. Okay. You will get a limit. Where is that threshold line, that defining line? Okay. You remain a knower or you become a doer. So this will be a very good experiment, practical application of what you have read today. Okay. So that will connect again in the next class. Now the 9 quasi passions, okay, laughter, etc. Each is being discussed very briefly, but nevertheless Todarmalji has given a very good insight for us to realize that these are the things that are happening in our life because of the rise of Charitra, Monia, Karma. Okay. And if you want to stop all these activity, what would be the solution? Okay. So I'm just reading the first one, laughter and rati. Okay. Then arati and other passions, Amitaji will read. Okay. So I'm just reading the first two. And along with this passion, the quasi passions. Quasi passions is no kashai. Quasi means little bit. Okay. So these are 4 major passions: anger, pride, deceit, and greed. These are the 4 major passions. Out of these 4, one will always be there, okay, running in our modification. The other is the 9 quasi passions. So among the 9 quasi passions, one will also be there. Okay. So this two goes on simultaneously, but the other 9 one are very mild passions, little bit of passion, it carries little bit bondage, but 4 major passions carries major amount of bondages. Okay. So we have to be very aware of what we are manifesting. So along with these passions, the quasi passions are also found there. When laughter passion is evolved, then one himself feels elated and joyful. Okay. This is to be known as the laughing of a hysteric patient, very funny, simply laughing without any cause. This is called a hysteric patient. This is a disease. You go to a mental hospital and you will see this kind of patients. Suddenly they start laughing. So what is actually happening, something going in their mind level, and which is coming into expression through their laughter. On the outside there is nothing to laugh. Everything is very calm, but this fellow is laughing. So this is a kind of disease. It is called a hysteric patient. Although he is suffering from several types of disease, even then he starts laughing by making some conjecture, guesses, okay, inference. Similarly, this jiva is suffering from different maladies. Even then, by making some conjecture, imagination, he feels happy, considering to be pleasing to oneself, but in reality, he is miserable. He will become happy only after the eradication of the disease of passion. Okay. So because of passion, the soul is experiencing pain, grief, sorrow, and when this eradication of this disease happens, he will become happy. The next, rati. Rati means liking passion. When the liking passion arises, then one feels excessive doting in the favorite thing. Just as cat just as a cat gets engrossed fondly on catching a rat, does not leave it even if someone beats it, Likewise, here also, one feels excessive fondness in one's favorite object, considering that it is obtained with great difficulty and may get separated. Therefore, it is assuredly misery. Now, the other passions, quasi-passions, Amitaji will read up to the last paragraph in this page, next page, I mean. When the disliking passion, Amitaji, you continue.
When the disliking passion arises, then on getting the association of repugnant thing, one finds highly dejected. One feels highly dejected. The association of the repugnant thing is not liked by him, and the resulting agony becomes unbearable. So he feels highly distressed for its dissertation. This itself is misery. When the sorrow, grief, passion is evolved, then on dissociation of favorite thing and association of unfavorite thing, getting highly upset, he feels very much afflicted, weeps, cries, becomes unmindful, and dies by cutting his limbs. Nothing is achieved by all this. Even then, he makes himself miserable. When the fear passion arises, then knowing someone to be the cause of dissociation of favorite thing and association of unfavorite thing, he feels fearful, feels highly dismayed, runs away, hides, becomes nervous, reaches the place of misery and dies. Hence, all is nothing but misery. When the disgust passion arises, then he hates the unfavorite thing. That thing gets associated on its own and he tries to escape disdainfully or wants to remove it away, and getting dejected, he experiences great pain. When the carnal desire arises due to rise of three types of sex passions, then the desire of cohabiting with female sex due to rise of male sex passion, the desire of cohabiting with the male sex due to rise of female sex passion, and the desire of cohabiting with both male and female sex due to rise of neuter sex passions gets evolved. On account of that, one feels very much distressed, sex fever develops, becomes shameless, spends money, does not bother about defame, does not care for the consequential miseries and punishments, etc. One becomes mad owing to the vehemency of carnal desire and dies. In the books on sex passion, 10 states of carnal desires are described. Becoming mad and losing life are also included there in these 10 states. In medical books, under types of fevers, sex fever is also stated to be the cause of death. Even occurrences of death due to sex passion is seen apparently. The sex blind person becomes irrational, the father with one's own daughter, the man with female animal, etc., starts copulating. Such is the pain of carnal desire, which itself is a great misery.
So these are the other passions that has been covered. It's all very simple. Something very detailed explanation has been given on this sex passions, male sex, female sex, and then neuter sex passions. So there are few points you can write down here in this sex passion. In the middle of the paragraph, on account of that, one feels very much distressed. This is point number 1. Number 2, sex fever develops. So when there is a rise of sex passions, what are the conditions that a soul undergoes? Okay. So these are mentioned point wise. Number 1 is on account of that one feels very much distressed. 1. Number 2, sex fever develops. Number 3, becomes shameless. Number 4, spends money to satisfy those sexual needs. Number 5, does not bother about defame. Okay. So in every day newspaper we see some rapes happening and then getting arrested and getting punishment and no. But still they become shameless. Does not bother about defame. Okay. Number 6, does not care for the consequential miseries and punishment. Okay. So every day there are so many crimes reporting. In fact, in between I also read in the newspaper that in India, every hour there is a rape being reported. Every hour, no, I think every minute it was. I don't remember. So this is what officially is being reported. And then there are many unofficially which are not reported because many people fear, defame and all. So they don't even complain also. So these things are so much happening every now and then. So people does not care for the consequence, miseries and punishment. So one like few minutes of this indulgence and you suffer for the rest of your life in prison. So people are becoming, I think, insane. They are not able to realize what they are doing. If you read the newspaper, things are becoming very scary. 7th point, one becomes mad owing to the vehemency of carnal desire and dies. Vehemency is forceful severity, okay, brutally, boldly of carnal desires and dies. Okay, so these are the 7 points regarding the sex passion. Rest all is understandable. These are some of the things that goes on in everybody's life. We have to identify these passions and then apply discriminative knowledge, get rid of those passions and win over it. Okay. Here a thought comes to the mind that if one does not indulge in this condition, then anger, etc., passion produce pain. Okay. And if one indulges in this condition, then miseries continue to the end of life. There the Jeev accepts the miseries to the end of life, but are not prepared to bear the agony of anger, etc., passions. So you see, the pain of the passions are so high that they are ready to suffer for the end of his life, but they want to indulge in that particular time into that passion. From this discussion, it is ascertained that the pain of passion is more than even the agony of death. Okay. So this kind of person, now just imagine what you can do. And you can read in the newspaper every day, you will be listening to something that has never happened before. That's something that you have never imagined that such thing happens. And now, if you want to really experience and realize the essence of those practical things that are happening around the globe, you just put yourself into that person's place. Practice empathy. And then you will be realized that, oh, I am so grateful that I am not suffering from such and such. I am having all the good things in my life. Now is the time to spend this and understand the scriptures and take shelter of my soul and get rid of all these passions and get liberated. This world will move like this only. And it was moving since time immemorial. And I was suffering since time immemorial. Okay. So now if you want to get rid of this cycle of death and birth, then this is the right moment. And when the rise of passion causing karma takes place, then he cannot resist the temptation of indulging in passion. He cannot resist. If the external causes of passions are met, with then one indulges in passion entangling in them. If no external causes are met, with then he himself creates the causes. For example, if the cause of involving in business, etc., passions be not there, then he himself creates the causes. Example, gambling and playing various other games, and that are the causes of anger, etc. So this Dream 11 and so many have cropped up that people are indulging in all wrongful activities in one way or the other. Every person seems to have some sort of bad habit in them, and it's killing their happiness in family life, in business life, in professional life, whatever you say. People are losing their discriminatory power. They are not able to realize what is good and what is bad for them. Okay, they are guided by the trend that's going on in the outside world, and that trend is very, very scary. The kind of sufferings that people undergo because of those wrong decisions, and then you repent for the rest of your life, right? So just whenever you read newspapers, just imagine, you put yourself into that place, and then what would you have done? What would have done in this situation? So this will strengthen your power of discriminative knowledge. You'll be more alert. You will be more alert. You will be more. You will be able to practice it more. So these are some of the practicals that you can do with things happening around your life. From the newspapers you can pick up, and of course we have our friends, relatives who are undergoing such and such things sometime or the other. So everywhere we have to connect to this kind of things and get detached. Moreover, if the carnal desire, for example, if the cause of involving in business, etc., passion be not there, then he himself creates the causes. Example, gambling and playing various other games that are the cause of anger, etc., and narrating and hearing to the wicked tales, etc. Moreover, if the carnal desire, anger, passion produce agony, and the body does not possess the power of acting according to those passions, then he prepares and takes the medicines and adopts various other means. And if no cause is met with, then he himself indulges in passion on his own by thinking in his upyog, active consciousness, about the object which cause passions. In this way, this jiva, being afflicted from passional disposition, becomes extremely miserable. Okay, so this is all the practicals that's going in our life, in somebody else's life. You can connect to those things and you realize what is at play. The rise of the Charitamonia karma is causing these kind of passional disposition. Okay, so just realize the effect of the karma. That is what is being discussed here, and then of course the solution will come, and everyone knows of the solution because we have discussed it time and again. So from here we'll start the next class, and then we will move on. Okay, so this is a very important topic, so I would request every one of you to complete that homework of 3 passions that I've gave, and consider a practical life and see where we indulge in such kind of activities and what is the way out. Okay, so if you just think, spend some time, half an hour, 1 hour a week after all these studies. These are some of the important studies. Every study is not that important. Something you just can go through, but something you have to stop there, pause, and just analyze and put yourself in those places and then see what you could have done. Okay. So this will be a very practical approach to this kind of problems. Okay, we'll meet up next week. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है 9 times नमोकार मंत्र. बोलो दात संगी जिनवाणी माता की जय.
Jai.
Jai
Jai
Jinendra. So tomorrow 7:30 in the evening there is a live telecast from Jaipur about our fireside chat, with I think Pandit Parmatamji Bharil, Shanti ji, and one more. Who is there? One more scholar is there. So Swanubhuti ji will have a discussion. The topic is what it was. What was the topic, Soumya? Abhagya, yeah, destiny, and what it was. I will just share it, okay? So just attend that, and next week we'll connect again.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.